Hey cats, I've got 5 apps for my phone and my tablet that I think every jazz student should have installed. One of these apps just came out and has quickly become my favorite. This video is not sponsored. The companies have no idea that I'm making this video. I'm sharing them with you because I genuinely use them every day and I think you'll get a lot of value out of them. This app is called Anytune, and it's kind of a music player app, but for musicians, and it makes active listening and transcribing so much easier. You can take any song that you own and load it in Anytune, and then you get all these fine-grained controls to like zoom in on the music and loop it and focus on it. If you've ever had a song that's not perfectly in A440, you know it can be kind of painful if you're trying to transcribe it at the piano. I had this with Ray Charles' America the Beautiful. The whole track was so sharp that I couldn't even tell if it was supposed to be in E major or in E flat. But using Anytune, I was able to kind of pitch it down to get it perfectly in tune with the piano. You can even change the key of the song entirely, slow it down, or speed it up. As long as you do that within reason, it's quite remarkable how well it keeps the audio quality intact. It's got a built-in equalizer, so you can go in and tweak the frequencies to help you hear some things that may have been hidden in the original mix. Anytune also has this really cool feature called Reframe, which will go in and delete your instrument from the mix, and that way when you're playing along, it can just be you playing that part. Everyone needs a good metronome, and I love my Korg KDM3 metronome. And for the most part, when you're practicing, any metronome will do fine. But when you're practicing rhythm specifically, I really like this app called Pro Metronome. Of course, this has all the basic functions of any metronome. You can make it click at whatever tempo that you want, but it also gives you some control to like change where the accents are on the beats and even to subdivide each of those beats individually. So you could subdivide them in 8th notes or triplets, 16th notes, whatever you need. And it really excels when you get into things like complex rhythms. Let's say you were playing a tune in 7/8. You could feel that 2 different ways. 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2, or 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. So you want to be able to configure the metronome in a way that's going to help you keep the right feel. Now, Pro Metronome has a Pro Metronome Pro subscription. What doesn't have a subscription nowadays? But when you are a Pro Metronome Pro subscriber, it unlocks a couple features which are really pretty useful. One is called the Rhythm Trainer, which basically lets the metronome mute itself for a few bars and then come back in. So while you're playing, it will keep time silently in the background and then come right back in where it's supposed to, and you can see how well you kept your own internal time during that muted section. The Pro Metronome Pro subscription also unlocks polyrhythms. So if you really want to channel your inner Adam Neely or Jacob Collier and practice your 7/4 or 9/5, you can do that in the app too. The third app is called Sonofield, and I love this app so much. It's like the first ear training app that teaches you how to practically use your ear. It does this by training you intervals against the root of a key center. So every exercise you do has a drone underneath it. That drone is the root of the key, and then the exercise that you're listening for over top of it, you can hear in reference to what that root note is. This is so different than what you get from traditional ear training, where it's just like chaining one note to the next, to the next, to the next, and finding intervals between each of them. Everything is nicely anchored against that root. And this is exactly how I play by ear. I'm not thinking note by note. I'm hearing it all as a reference to the chord or the key signature underneath. It's like this zen, peaceful, fun game to go on. I just lean back in my chair with my headphones on and I lose myself some days. We can't talk about jazz apps without talking about the king, iReal Pro. iReal Pro generates backing tracks from chord charts that you enter into the app, or you can go into the community and download basically every jazz standard ever so you don't have to type them all yourself. To be real with you for a second, I don't really like using iReal Pro for backing tracks really. The backing tracks to me don't have a great feel, and the instruments are real low quality MIDI instruments, and the rhythms that they play are all formulas. Every song really sounds the same. But I do use iReal Pro all the time to guide my technical exercises. I could set up a 4-bar loop in iReal Pro, and I could let that loop for a good 5 or 10 minutes while I repeat whatever it is I'm working on. So if you were doing this 4-bar loop, you could set it that every time you go through the loop, the tempo increases by 2 BPM. So there, over your 3, 4, 5 minutes of practice, you can start out nice and leisurely and really see how far you can push yourself. You can also have it automatically transpose, so you could have it every time you go through the loop, it goes up a half step. That way you can practice your ideas in all 12 keys. If you're going through any of the exercises in the Jazz Library membership, or if you've come to one of my free Friday workshops where I've introduced you to one of these, this is the best way to practice this. Set up a 4-bar phrase in iReal Pro and let the tempo go up and practice transposing it. But I really don't think it generates that great of backing tracks for tunes. But when it comes to backing tracks, there's a new app in town called Quartet, and it is my absolute favorite. Long ago, way back in the dark ages, when I was in middle school or high school, my dad got me a set of Jamie Aebersold play-alongs. I still have them back here, although I don't have a CD player to play them in. I wasn't even really into jazz back then. I mean, I played in the high school jazz band and I was playing boogie woogie piano. For some reason, I thought that the girls were gonna love it if I could play boogie woogie. They never did. But I guess my dad saw something in me that I hadn't recognized in myself yet, which is this love for jazz that was blossoming. Those Jamie Aebersold play-alongs are amazing. I mean, they were some of the best musicians in the world. I mean, playing bass with Ron Carter, I think Horace Silver was on piano for some of them. It was wild. We haven't really had a modern equivalent of those Jamie Aebersold backing tracks until we got Quartet. Quartet's backing tracks are all live recorded by professional jazz musicians in the UK. I love that they credit every musician on every track. Every track is also mixed 8 different ways, so you can get it with just drum and bass, or just bass and piano, and they've even added horn solos to each of the songs so that you can practice comping behind a real, authentic solo. And these musicians sound awesome. They are a seriously legit band. Quartet comes in 4 different packages. I recommend you just buy a bundle of all 4. I think 2 more are coming soon. That gets you 500 jazz standards. But these recordings are not just the band comping over the changes either. They're really stylistically influenced by some of the most popular recordings of these tunes. Like Autumn Leaves sounds very much like Miles Davis's version. Or All the Things You Are has the intro from Dizzy Gillespie's famous version. A Quartet can do things with modern tech that Jamie Aebersold didn't have available. So just like we did in Anytune, he can change the key. You can change the tempo. These are real live audio recordings, not MIDI recordings. So as you speed things up or slow things down or pitch them up or down, you do degrade the audio a little bit, but if you do this within a reasonable range, I think it sounds just great. Now, just like an iReal Pro, you can zoom in on some measures and just repeat those. That way you really nail that individual phrase. Or you can have the whole tune loop 5 or 6 times through the head so you can practice the overall form. But my absolute favorite thing about Quartet is that they let you use the audio from the app without any commercial license or royalties. That means you can use these audio tracks out on real gigs and not have to worry about paying them royalties, or I can use them here on YouTube as a backing track while I'm teaching you my favorite techniques. I hope that is going to get me out of copyright claim hell. Thank you so much, Quartet, for that. The last app that we all need to download is the Taco Bell app. If you've ever been on a gig like I have where you're playing a wedding reception for 3 hours for $25 and the father of the bride forgot to order you dinner, so by the time you get your truck all packed up and leave, it's 1 a.m. and you're starving. Well, that $25 will buy you a few tacos and a Baja Blast. What apps did I miss? I'm an iPhone and Mac guy, and I know not all of these apps are available yet on Android and PC. So if you're an Android or PC user, tell us down in the comments what we should use instead. I'm counting on you to help fill in the gaps. And while you're downloading those apps on your phone, check out one of these videos next.